The City of Lloydminster will be hosting a virtual procurement information session on April 15th. And to talk a little bit more about these sessions, I'm joined today with Lloydminster Mayor Gerald Albers. Mayor Albers, first of all, can you just talk a little bit more about what this virtual session is going to be?
This session is a continuation from the last session that the city held. So the procurement session helps local businesses, be it suppliers of materials or services, that want to learn more about doing business with the city. From that perspective, we've had a lot of tenders go out in the last little while. I'm working on major projects. There's more major projects to come, and it's very important people understand how they can apply to become or put in a tender or a bid to submission towards a project that's being worked on in the city, being as a contractor or understanding how subcontractors would work with the contractor that was chosen and how the city may play a part in that, as well as we buy goods and services each and every day, and we want to ensure that people have the opportunity to have that, to provide that information to the city and know what they can offer us. Well, at the same time, the city wants to explain to people, especially suppliers, how we're looking for the best purchase for the taxpayer at the end of the day. So it's a quite a broad perspective, and that's what makes it very interesting. We want to make sure people are informed.
And what kind of people or organizations would you encourage to, or would you like to see take part in these information sessions?
Well, I think that it's open to businesses that, like I say, first, often people think of the contractors and subcontractors. So if you provide a service from construction to maintenance, things like that, that would be something that would be very much into their wheelhouse. From the purchases of materials and supplies, we do business with a lot of local vendors today. And if you're a new vendor, or if you've taken on a new line of products that you believe the city might be interested in, or qualify that something the city would use, this would be important as well. So from basically very small operations to major corporations, it's important to understand how the city operates. It makes it a lot more information flowing that way.
And with more local businesses learning about the procurement process, are you hopeful that in the future more contracts will be awarded to local companies?
Well, we always look forward to seeing more local contractors and people working in our city for the city. One thing I have to remind people is that we don't have enough work every day to keep every contractor in this city busy and subcontractor. And I think that's one of the challenges, helping people understand that it's a fair and open competitive bid process. So if you have the best price, you will very likely be, in many cases, have the best shot at it. In some cases, though, I remind people we don't just strictly do it on price. When you look at an RFQ, request for quotation, or an RFP, request for proposal, certain items, it's very easy when you're determining that we need 100 yards of gravel or 1,000 yards of sand. But when you get down to the engineering work, in some cases, as an example, and other pieces, we like to know that the individual is qualified. Sometimes there's pre-qualification. So there's many facets to procurement. And I think this is where this session will help people understand, well, why doesn't the city just simply walk in and buy something from my shelf off the shelf? Because the city is also responsible for making sure we get the best buy for the dollar. At the same token, by understanding what we do, it will also allow our local suppliers to compete in other markets for other municipalities' work. And I hope that's a win-win for the businesses as well, because if our businesses are working here in our city or can work in our city, but are also working in other cities and communities and supplying things from their business, I think it's just it builds on the business case as well.
And this info session is taking place virtually on April 15th, and people are encouraged to submit questions beforehand while they register. Can you just talk a little bit about where people are able to register and find more information?
So you'll find more information on our website at yourvoicellloyd.ca/YCYB. They can call the city at 780-875-6184 and ask for extension 2322. And the spots are limited, and I guess we'll determine. So I want to just go back. We would have been doing this in person, which the first one went very well, and a lot of good discussion, I understand, from businesses and city staff. We're going to do this one virtually, and if we fill it up and we've got to do it again, we'll be talking with administration to ensure that we do one more if we need to after this, to get information, because we are challenged right now. COVID has certainly put us at a bit of a disadvantage to have those sit-down meetings that people would like to have, or a discussion in a room and hear the conversation. So we'll continue to accommodate as best as we can. So we'll take this one and see where it goes. If we fill it up, like I say, we'll have some more discussions about doing it again.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with me today, Mayor Albers.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for following up and getting this information out there, because it's key that our community and certainly our business community plays a very vital role in our community, and we want to continue to try and help and build that community as best as we can.